Paris, to prepare for the upcoming test of science and math, let's review what you have studied in the past months together now.
Paris, to prepare for the upcoming test of science and math, let's review what you have studied in the past month together now.
Paris, to prepare for the upcoming test of science and math, let's review what you have studied in the past month together now.
Paris, to prepare for the upcoming test of science and math, let's review what you have studied in the past month together now.
Paris, to prepare for the upcoming test of science and math, let's review what you have studied in the past months together now.
Test 1 Question 1 to 8 Test 1 Question 1 to 8 Test 1 Question 1 to 8 Question 1. In multicellular organisms, cells are organized into groups that work together to perform a specific function. What are those groups of cells called? A systems. B. Bones. C. Tissues. D. Joints. Question 2. Which of the following statements describes an organ? A. The basic unit of structure and function in living things. B. A group of cells that work together to perform a specific function. C. A structure in the body that is composed of different kinds of tissue. D. A group of organs that work together to perform a major function in the body. Question 3. How many levels of organization are there in living organisms? A. 1, B. 3, C. 5, D. 7. Question 4. The liver is composed of cells called hepatocytes. Many hepatocytes together in the liver form a cells. B. Tissue. C. Organ system. D. Organisms. Question 5. The root and shoot systems together in plants form which level of organization? A. Cells. B. Tissue. C. Organ system. D. Organism. Question 6. The stomach is a collection of tissue that contracts to help digest food. The stomach is considered to be a cells. B. Tissue. C. Organ. D. Organ system. Question 7. Look at the diagram and determine which answer choice would best fit in the X. Cell, tissue, organ system. Question 8. The picture shows a plant stem and focuses on the plant's xylem. Plant xylem is composed of many cells that transport water. Xylem is classified as a cells. B. Tissue. C. Organ. D. Organ system. Answer key. Question 1. See tissues explanation. In multicellular organisms, cells are organized into groups called tissues. These tissues work together to perform specific functions. For example, muscle tissue is made up of muscle cells that work together to enable movement. Question 2. C5 explanation. There are 5 main levels of organization in living things: cells, tissues, organs, organ systems, and organisms. Cells are the basic units of life. Tissues are groups of cells working together. Organs are made up of different tissues. Organ systems are groups of organs working together. And organisms are individual living things. Question 3. B. Tissue explanation. The liver is an organ, and it's made up of a specific type of tissue called hepatic tissue. Hepatic tissue consists of hepatocytes, which are liver cells. These cells work together to perform the liver's functions, such as filtering blood and producing bile. Question 4. See organ system explanation. The root and shoot systems of a plant together form an organ system. The root system is responsible for absorbing water and nutrients from the soil, while the shoot system is responsible for photosynthesis and reproduction. Both systems work together to sustain the plant. Question 5. See organ system explanation. The stomach is an organ, but it's also part of the digestive system. The digestive system is an organ system that breaks down food into nutrients that can be absorbed by the body. The stomach is a key part of this system, as it's where food is initially broken down. Question 6. See organ explanation. The stomach is considered an organ. Organs are made up of different tissues and have specific functions. The stomach is a muscular organ that helps in the process of digestion by breaking down food. Question 7. B. Tissue explanation. Based on the diagram, the X should be filled with tissue. Xylem is a type of plant tissue that is responsible for transporting water and minerals from the roots to the rest of the plant. Question 8. B. Tissue explanation. Xylem is a type of plant tissue. It's composed of specialized cells that form long tubes, allowing water and minerals to move upwards through the plant. This tissue is essential for the plant's survival. Test 12 question 9 to 15. Test 12 question 9 to 15. Test 12 question 9 to 15. Question 9. In the human heart, there are organs that pump blood through blood vessels. The combination of the heart and blood vessels are classified as a tissue. B. A organ. C. An organ system. D. An organism. Question 10. This is a level of organization diagram. Which term does row X represent? A. Tissues. B. Cells. C. Organs. D. Organ systems. Question 11. How many levels of organization are there in living organisms? A. 1, B. 3, C. 5, D. 7. Question 12. The liver is composed of cells called hepatocytes. Many hepatocytes together in the liver form a cells. B. Tissue. C. Organ system. D. Organisms. Question 13. The root and shoot systems together in plants form which level of organization? A. Cells. B. Tissue. C. Organ system. D. Organism. Question 14. The stomach is a collection of tissue that contracts to help digest food. The stomach is considered to be a cells. B. Tissue. C. Organ. D. Organ system. Question 15. Look at the diagram and determine which answer choice would best fit in the X. Cell. Tissue. Organ system. Question 16. The picture shows a plant stem and focuses on the plant's xylem. Plant xylem is composed of many cells that transport water. Xylem is classified as a cells. B. Tissue. C. Organ. D. Organ system. Answer key. Question 9. C. An organ system. Explanation. In the human heart, there are organs that pump blood through blood vessels. The combination of the heart and blood vessels are classified as an organ system. An organ system is a group of organs working together to perform a specific function. In this case, the heart and blood vessels together form the circulatory system, which is responsible for transporting blood and nutrients throughout the body. Question 10. D. Organ systems. Explanation. This is a level of organization diagram. The term does represent organ systems. Organ systems are the highest level of organization shown in the diagram, consisting of multiple organs working together to perform a specific function. For instance, the digestive system includes organs like the stomach, intestines, and liver, all working together to process food. Question 11. D. Organs explanation. This diagram represents the level of organization of organs. Organs are made up of different tissues and perform specific functions within an organism. For example, the heart is an organ that pumps blood, and the lungs are organs that facilitate gas exchange. Question 12. A. Tissues. Explanation. The diagram represents the level of organization of tissues. Tissues are groups of similar cells working together to perform a specific function. For example, muscle tissue is made up of muscle cells and is responsible for movement. Question 13. D. Organism. Explanation. All parts of a plant together make up the organism. An organism is a living thing that can carry out life processes on its own. It is the highest level of organization in biology. Question 14. D. Organism. Explanation. The levels of organization from most complex to least complex are organism, organ system, organ, tissue, and cell. An organism is the most complex level, representing a complete living being. Question 15. A cell's explanation. The basic unit of structure and function in life is a cell. Cells are the building blocks of all living organisms and carry out the essential processes necessary for life. In summary, the questions are testing your understanding of the levels of organization in biology, from the simplest unit cell to the most complex organism. The levels progress from cells to tissues, organs, organ systems, and finally, the whole organism. Each level builds upon the previous one, with increasing complexity and specialization.
Paris. These are the test questions and answers for the science exam. Paris. Please listen and proofread your answers. Paris. These are the test questions and answers for the science exam. Paris. Please listen and proofread your answers. Paris. These are the test questions and answers for the science exam. Paris. Please listen and proofread your answers. Paris. These are the test questions and answers for the science exam. Paris. Please listen and proofread your answers. Paris. These are the test questions and answers for the science exam. Paris. Please listen and proofread your answers. Paris. These are the test questions and answers for the science exam. Paris. Please listen and proofread your answers.
Science Test 100 multiple choice questions based on the 5 topics that will be tested in the upcoming week. Topic 1. Prokaryotes and Eukaryotes. 1. What is a characteristic of prokaryotic cells? A have a nucleus, lack a nucleus, have mitochondria, have chloroplasts. 2. Which of the following organisms are made up of prokaryotic cells? A. Animals, bacteriac, plants, fungi. 3. What is one key difference between prokaryotes and eukaryotes? A. Prokaryotes are larger than eukaryotes. Eukaryotes have a nucleus. Prokaryotes have mitochondria. Eukaryotes have a simpler structure 4. Which structure is found in eukaryotic cells but not in prokaryotic cells? A cell membrane cytoplasmic. Nucleus. Ribosomes 5. What type of organisms are eukaryotic? A bacteria, plants and animals, viruses, algae. 6. Prokaryotic cells are known for having a nucleus, a cell wall, a complex structured membrane-bound organelles. 7. Which of the following statements is true about eukaryotic cells? A. They are always unicellular. They lack membrane-bound organelles. They contain a nucleus. They lack DNA. 8. Which of these is a prokaryotic organism? A paramecium, amoebac, bacterium, mushroom. 9. Which structure is absent in prokaryotic cells? A. Ribosomes, cytoplasmic. Nucleus, plasma membrane. 10. How do prokaryotic cells reproduce? A binary fission, mitosis, meiosis. Budding. 11. Which of the following is an example of a prokaryotic organism? A alga, fungic, bacteria. Humans. 12. Eukaryotic cells contain only one type of organelle, membrane-bound organelles, a single circular DNA strand. No organelles. 13. Which of these is a feature of both prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells? A nucleus, plasma membrane, chloroplast, mitochondria. 14. Which of the following best describes the DNA of prokaryotes? A linear and contained in a nucleus, circular and free-floating, linear and surrounded by membrane, circular but contained in a nucleus. 15. What do prokaryotic cells use for movement? A flagellab, celiac, pseudopodiid. None of the above. 16. Which of the following is found in eukaryotic cells but not in prokaryotic cells? A. Ribosomes, DNA, mitochondria, plasma membrane. 17. Eukaryotic cells can be found in only animals and plants. Only bacteria, only fungi. 18. Prokaryotes are generally larger than eukaryotes, more complex than eukaryotes, smaller and simpler than eukaryotes, unicellular. 19. What is one characteristic that all prokaryotes share? A nucleus, membrane-bound organelles, lack of a nucleus, large size. 20. Which of these organisms is classified as a eukaryote? A. E. coli, salmonellic. Yeast, viruses. Topic 2. Cell theory. 21. Who first proposed the cell theory? A. Albert Einstein, Robert Hooke, Matthias Schleiden and Theodor Schwann. Charles Darwin. 22. According to the cell theory, what is the basic unit of life? A tomb, organismic celled molecule. 23. Which statement is true according to the cell theory? A. Cells can only come from non-living matter. All living things are made up of cells. Cells are only found in animals. Cells can form spontaneously from air. 24. The cell theory states that all living organisms are made up of atoms, cells, organs, molecules. 25. Who discovered cells by looking at a slice of cork under a microscope? A. Theodor Schwann, Robert Hooke, Louis Pasteur, Anton van Leeuwenhoek. 26. What did Schleiden and Schwann contribute to the cell theory? A. Cells are the basic building blocks of life. All cells come from pre-existing cells. All living things are made of cells. Cells are not the basic unit of life. 27. Which statement is part of the modern cell theory? A. All living things are made up of atoms. All cells come from pre-existing cells. Cells are formed from non-living substances. Cells do not carry out chemical reactions. 28. Who was the first to see bacteria under a microscope? A. Anton van Leeuwenhoek, Robert Hooke, Louis Pasteur, Theodor Schwann. And 29. What does the cell theory suggest about the origin of cells? A. Cells are created from non-living matter. Cells spontaneously appear. All cells come from other living cells. Cells are immortal. 30. Which of the following is part of the cell theory? A. All cells have a nucleus. Cells form from energetic. Cells are the basic units of structure and function in living things. Cells cannot reproduce. 31. The cell theory says that the function of an organism depends on a. The size of the organism, the function of the organ systems, the behavior of individual cells, the organization of cells in multicellular organisms. 32. What part of the cell theory did Louis Pasteur prove with his experiment? A. Cells are the basic units of life. Cells can only arise from other cells. All living things are made up of cells. Cells are the smallest living things. 33. Who contributed to the idea that cells are the basic unit of structure and function in organisms? Anton van Leeuwenhoek, Robert Hooke, Theodor Schwann, and Matthias Schleiden. Charles Darwin. 34. According to the cell theory, how are cells related to living organisms? A. Cells make up tissues. Cells are the smallest living units. Cells are involved in reproduction. All of the above. 35. Which of these is a key principle of cell theory? A. All cells have a nucleus. Cells come from other cells. Cells cannot divide it. All cells have cell walls. 36. Cell theory was developed after scientists invented the microscope, have studied viruses, conducted chemical experiments, developed the theory of evolution. 37. According to the cell theory, the function of an organism depends on the number of cells, the structure and function of its cells, the size of the organism, the organ systems in the organism. 38. What did Schleiden contribute to cell theory? A. He showed that all living organisms are made up of cells. He showed that all cells come from pre-existing cells. He identified the nucleus in plant cells. He invented the microscope. 39. What role do cells play in living organisms, according to cell theory? A. Cells carry out all the chemical processes needed for life. Cells are the building blocks of organs. Cells create energy for the organism. Cells store genetic information. Only. 40. The cell theory helps us understand that all organisms are made of cells. Cells cannot be broken down into simpler substances. Only multicellular organisms have cells. Cells do not carry out functions independently. Topic 3. Animal vs. plant cell. 41. Which structure is found in plant cells but not in animal cells? A nucleus, cell membrane, chloroplast, mitochondria. 42. Animal cells differ from plant cells in that they lack mitochondria, have a cell wall, have chloroplast, have a round shape. 43. What is the function of the cell wall in plant cells? To store nutrients, to protect and support the cell, to help the cell move, to control what enters and exits the cell. 44. Which of these structures are present in both plant and animal cells? A. Chloroplast, cell wall, mitochondria, vacuole. 45. What does the chloroplast do in plant cells? Helps in protein synthesis, produces energy for the cell, stores genetic information, conducts photosynthesis. 46. Which of the following is a characteristic of animal cells but not plant cells? A chloroplast, round-shaped cell-walled central vacuole. 47. What is a difference between the cytoplasm of plant cells and animal cells? Plant cells have more cytoplasm. Cytoplasm in both is identical. Animal cells have more cytoplasm. Plant cells contain chloroplasts in the cytoplasm. 48. Which structure in animal cells helps in cell division? A mitochondria, nucleus, lysosomed. C. Triol. 49. Which of these structures stores water in plant cells? A vacuole, nucleus, ribosomed. Chloroplast. 50. Which of the following is a shared feature of both plant and animal cells? A cell-walled chloroplastic mitochondrial central vacuole. 51. The main difference between plant and animal cells is the presence of a ribosomus, mitochondriac, chloroplast, nucleus. 52. Which of these structures is not found in plant cells? A chloroplast, cell membrane, mitochondria, cent, rheoles. 53. Which structure in plant cells is responsible for capturing sunlight? A mitochondria, chloroplastic, nucleus, vacuole. 54. What organelle is responsible for breaking down waste in animal cells? A. Chloroplast, lysosomic, mitochondrion, Golgi apparatus. 55. What structure is found in plant cells but not in animal cells to help with structural support? A chloroplast, vacuole, cell-walled, mitochondria. 56. What is the role of the central vacuole in plant cells? A help in cell division, store water and nutrients, aid in photosynthesis, break down waste. 57. Which part of the cell regulates what enters and exits the cell? A nucleus, ribosomes, cell membrane, cytoplasm. 58. Which of these structures is involved in energy production? A chloroplast nucleus, endoplasmic reticulum, mitochondria. 59. How do plant and animal cells both maintain their shape? A. By using chloroplast, through the cytoplasmic, through the cell wall and cytoskeleton, through vacuole. S60. What does the mitochondrion do in both plant and animal cells? A. Produces food, regulates cell divisions, produces energy through cellular respiration, stores water. Topic 4. Organelles of the cell. 61. Which organelle is responsible for producing energy for the cell? A. Nucleus ribosomic mitochondrion. Endoplasmic reticulum. 62. The cell's brain that controls all activities is the a ribosome nucleus chloroplast mitochondrion. 63. Which organelle is responsible for assembling proteins? A. Nucleus ribosomic. Golgi apparatus endoplasmic reticulum. 64. The smooth endoplasmic reticulum is primarily involved in a. Protein synthesis, lipid production, photosynthesis, waste removal. 65. Which organelle is responsible for storing the cell's genetic information? A. Ribosome Golgi apparatus nucleus. Chloroplast. 66. Which organelle is responsible for modifying and packaging proteins? A. Golgi apparatus endoplasmic reticulum ribosome lysosome. 67. What does the lysosome do? A. Produces energy, modifies proteins, breaks down wasted, regulates what enters the cell. 68. The endoplasmic reticulum is involved in a. Protein synthesis, lipid production, storage of nutrients to both A and B. 69. What is the function of the Golgi apparatus? A. Produce food for the cell, store water and nutrients, modify and package proteins to produce energy for the cell. 70. The ribosome is responsible for a. Producing food, making proteins, breaking down wasted, packaging proteins. 71. What is the function of the cytoplasm? A. To store genetic information, to provide structural supports, to assist in cell division, to house organelles and aid in cellular reactions. 72. What is the role of the vacuole in a cell? A. To produce food, to store food and water, to generate energy, to help in cell division. 73. What does the mitochondrion do? A. Makes proteins, breaks down waste, produces energy through cellular respiration, transports materials. 74. Which organelle is responsible for photosynthesis in plant cells? A. Chloroplast mitochondrion ribosomed nucleus. 75. What does the nucleus control? A. Protein synthesis. The activities of the cell, photosynthesis, waste removal. 76. What part of the cell is responsible for packaging and distributing proteins? A. Nucleus Golgi apparatus. Endoplasmic reticulum. Ribosome. 77. What does the cell membrane do? A. Stores food, supports the cell, regulates what enters and leaves the cell, produces energy. 78. The structure that helps the cell maintain its shape is the a. Nucleus cytoskeleton Golgi apparatus vacuole. 79. Which organelle is known as the powerhouse of the cell? A. Ribosome mitochondrion. Nucleus endoplasmic reticulum. 80. What organelle helps the cell communicate with other cells? A. Cytoskeleton nucleus. Plasma membrane mitochondrion. Topic 5. Levels of organization. 81. The simplest level of organization in living organisms is a. Organism tissuic organ cell. 82. Which of these is the highest level of biological organization? A. Organism organ system organ tissue. 83. Which level of organization includes groups of similar cells working together? A. Organ tissuic organ system organism. 84. Which of the following is the correct order of levels of organization in living organisms? A. Cell, tissue, organ, organism, tissue, cell, organ, organismic organism, organ, tissue, cell, cell, organ, tissue, organism. 85. Which is the correct order of the biological organization from simplest to most complex? A. Cell, organ, tissue, organism, cell, tissue, organ, organismic, tissue, organ, cell, organism, organ, tissue, cell, organism. 86. An example of an organ system is a leaf, the nervous system, a group of tissues, the immune system. 87. What is the function of an organ system? A. To transport materials throughout the body to support cells to perform specific life processes to store nutrients. 88. Cells working together to perform a specific function form a organism tissues organ systems. 89. The heart is an example of an organ tissue organ system. Cell. 90. What level of organization comes after tissues in the hierarchy of life? A. Cells organismed organ systems. 91. A group of organs working together to perform a specific function is called a organ system organismic tissued cell. 92. The human respiratory system is made up of organs onlib tissues onlic organs and tissues. Cells. Only. 93. The organ responsible for pumping blood is the stomach, heart, brain, kidney. 94. What is the highest level of biological organization in humans? A organ tissue organismed organ system. 95. The nervous system is responsible for transporting oxygen, regulating body functions, producing energy digestion. 96. The smallest functional unit of living organisms is organismic celled tissue. 97. Which of the following is true about the hierarchy of biological organization? A. Cells are larger than organs. Organs are more complex than tissuous organ systems, are smaller than organs. Organisms are made up of organ systems. 98. Which of the following represents the correct order of organization, from least to most complex? A tissue organism tissue cell tissue organismed organism tissue cell. 99. Which level of biological organization involves the interaction of various systems in an organism? A organ system tissue organismed organ. 100. A group of cells performing a similar function is called a tissue organ system organism. Now let's see the answer key in the answer key. Each correct choice is explained. Please check your answers while listening to the answer key. Topic 1. Prokaryotes and eukaryotes lack a nucleus. Prokaryotic cells do not have a nucleus. B. Bacteria are made up of prokaryotic cells. B. Eukaryotes have a nucleus. This is a key difference. Eukaryotic cells contain a nucleus. C. Nucleus. The nucleus is only found in eukaryotic cells. B. Plants and animals. Both plants and animals are eukaryotic organisms. B. A cell wall. Many prokaryotes have a cell wall, but not a membrane-bound nucleus or organelles. C. They contain a nucleus. Eukaryotic cells have a nucleus. C. Bacteria are prokaryotic organisms. C. Nucleus. Prokaryotic cells lack a nucleus. A binary fission. Prokaryotic cells reproduce through binary fission. C. Bacteria are prokaryotic organisms. B. Membrane-bound organelles. Eukaryotic cells contain membrane-bound organelles. B. Plasma membrane. Both prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells have a plasma membrane. B. Circular and free-floating. Prokaryotic DNA is circular and not enclosed in a nucleus. A. Flagella. Some prokaryotic cells use flagella for movement. C. Mitochondria are found in eukaryotic cells. B. Animals and plants. Both animals and plants are eukaryotic. C. Lack of a nucleus. Prokaryotes lack a nucleus. C. Yeast is a eukaryotic organism. Topic 2. Cell theory. Matthias Schleiden and Theodor Schwann. These scientists first proposed the cell theory. C. Cell. The basic unit of life according to the cell theory is the cell. B. All living things are made up of cells. This is a central tenet of cell theory. B. Cells. All living organisms are made up of cells. B. Robert Hooke. He discovered cells by examining cork. C. All living things are made of cells. Schleiden and Schwann's contribution. A. Anton van Leeuwenhoek. He was the first to see bacteria under a microscope. C. All cells come from other living cells. This principle was proven by Louis Pasteur. C. Cells are the basic units of structure and function in living things, a key principle of cell theory. B. The function of the organ systems functions depend on cells. C. The behavior of individual cells. The function of an organism depends on the cells. B. Cells come from other cells, a key principle in modern cell theory. C. All cells are the basic units of life. This is part of cell theory. C. All cells come from other cells. Pasteur's work proved this. C. Theodor Schwann and Matthias Schleiden, they helped establish that cells are the basic unit of life. D. All of the above. All of these are part of cell theory. A. Invented the microscope. The microscope enabled the discovery of cells. B. The structure and function of its cells. Cell function is crucial for the organism's function. A. He showed that all living organisms are made up of cells. Schleiden's contribution. A. Cells carry out all the chemical processes needed for life. Cells are responsible for life processes. Topic 3. Animal vs. plant cell. Chloroplasts are found only in plant cells and are responsible for photosynthesis. B. Round shape. Animal cells have a round shape, while plant cells have a fixed shape due to the cell wall. B. To protect and support the cell. The cell wall gives structural support to plant cells. C. Mitochondria. Both plant and animal cells have mitochondria. D. Conducts photosynthesis. Chloroplasts in plant cells perform photosynthesis. B. Round shape. Animal cells tend to have a round shape, unlike plant cells. C. Animal cells have more cytoplasm. Animal cells generally have more cytoplasm than plant cells. D. Centrioles are involved in cell division in animal cells. A. Vacuoles in plant cells store water. C. Mitochondria. Both plant and animal cells have mitochondria involved in energy production. C. Chloroplasts. Only plant cells contain chloroplasts for photosynthesis. D. Centrioles are only found in animal cells and are involved in cell division. B. Chloroplasts capture sunlight in plant cells. B. Lysosomes in animal cells break down waste. C. Cell wall. Plant cells have a cell wall, providing structure. B. Store water and nutrients. The central vacuole stores water and nutrients in plant cells. C. Cell membrane. The cell membrane regulates the movement of substances in and out of the cell. D. Mitochondria. Mitochondria produce energy through cellular respiration. C. Through the cell wall and cytoskeleton. Both plant and animal cells use their cytoskeleton and, for plants, the cell wall to maintain shape. C. Produces energy through cellular respiration. Mitochondria provide energy for the cell. Topic 4. Organelles of the cell. Mitochondrion. The mitochondrion produces energy for the cell. B. Nucleus. The nucleus is the control center of the cell. B. Ribosome. Ribosomes are responsible for assembling proteins. B. Lipid production. The smoother is involved in lipid production. C. Nucleus. The nucleus stores the cell's genetic information. A Golgi apparatus. The Golgi apparatus modifies and packages proteins. C. Breaks down waste. Lysosomes break down waste and cellular debris. D. Both A and B. The ER is involved in protein and lipid synthesis. C. Modify and package proteins. The Golgi apparatus processes proteins for transport. B. Making proteins. Ribosomes are responsible for protein synthesis. B. To provide structural support. The cytoplasm provides support for organelles. B. To store food and water. Vacuoles store essential substances. C. Produces energy through cellular respiration. Mitochondria are key in energy production. A. Chloroplasts carry out photosynthesis in plant cells. B. The activities of the cell. The nucleus controls all cellular activities. B. Golgi apparatus. The Golgi packages and transports proteins. C. Regulates what enters and leaves the cell. The cell membrane controls the flow of materials. B. Cytoskeleton. The cytoskeleton maintains cell shape and structure. B. Mitochondrion. Mitochondria are the cell's powerhouses. C. Plasma membrane. The plasma membrane facilitates cell communication. Topic 5. Levels of organization. Cell. The cell is the simplest unit of life. A organism. The highest level of organization is the organism. B. Tissues are made of similar cells working together. A cell, tissue, organ, organism. This is the correct order of biological organization. B. Cell, tissue, organ, organism. This is the correct sequence of biological organization. B. The nervous system and organ system, such as the nervous system, consists of organs working together. C. To perform specific life processes. Organ systems work to perform necessary biological functions. B. Tissues. Cells work together to form tissues, which have specific functions. A. Organ. The heart is an example of an organ. B. Organs. Organs work together to form organ systems. A. Organ system. An organ system includes multiple organs working together. C. Organ systems. The respiratory system involves many organs functioning together. C. Organism. The organism is the highest level of biological organization. B. Heart. The heart is an organ that helps in pumping blood. C. Tissue. Tissues are groups of similar cells with specific functions. C. Organ systems. Organ systems, such as the circulatory system, support the organism's survival. B. Organs. Organs are made up of tissues that perform specific functions. D. All of the above. Each level of organization is necessary for the body to function. B. Organism. An organism represents all levels of biological organization working together. B. Organism. The organism is the final level in biology. Here are 10 commonly tested questions for each of the 5 topics. Topic 1. Prokaryotes and eukaryotes. What is a characteristic of prokaryotic cells? Which organism is an example of a prokaryote? What structure do eukaryotic cells have that prokaryotic cells lack? How do prokaryotic cells reproduce? Which of the following is found in eukaryotic cells but not in prokaryotic cells? What is a key difference between prokaryotes and eukaryotes? What type of DNA do prokaryotic cells have? Do prokaryotic cells have membrane-bound organelles? Which organism is a eukaryote? What do prokaryotes use for movement? Topic 2. Cell theory. Who first proposed the cell theory? What is the basic unit of life according to cell theory? What does the cell theory state about cells? Who discovered cells by looking at cork under a microscope? What did Schleiden and Schwann contribute to the cell theory? What does the modern cell theory say about the origin of cells? Who first saw bacteria under a microscope? What principle of cell theory did Louis Pasteur prove? According to cell theory, where do all cells come from? How does cell theory explain the function of an organism? Topic 3. Animal vs. plant cells. Which structure is found in plant cells, but not in animal cells? What is the function of the cell wall in plant cells? What structure helps animal cells divide? What do plant cells use for photosynthesis? What is a characteristic of animal cells but not plant cells? Which organelle stores water in plant cells? What is the main difference between plant and animal cells? Which organelle produces energy in both plant and animal cells? How do plant and animal cells maintain their shape? What is the role of the central vacuole in plant cells? Topic 4. Organelles of the cell. Which organelle produces energy for the cell? What is the role of the nucleus in a cell? What organelle assembles proteins? What is the function of the smooth endoplasmic reticulum? Which organelle stores genetic information in the cell? What is the function of the Golgi apparatus? What does the lysosome do in a cell? What does the mitochondrion do? Which organelle is responsible for photosynthesis in plant cells? What does the cytoplasm do in a cell? Topic 5. Levels of organization. What is the simplest level of biological organization? Which level of organization includes similar cells working together? What comes after tissues in biological organization? Which is the highest level of biological organization? What level of organization is made of different organs working together? What is the function of an organ system? What is an example of an organ system? What is a group of similar cells performing a function called? What is the correct order of levels of biological organization? What is the highest level of organization in humans? Answer key. Topic 1. Prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Prokaryote cells lack a nucleus. Bacteria is an example of a prokaryote. Eukaryotic cells have a nucleus, which prokaryotic cells lack. Prokaryotic cells reproduce by binary fission. Nucleus is found in eukaryotic cells, but not in prokaryotic cells. Prokaryotes lack a nucleus, unlike eukaryotes. Prokaryotic cells have circular DNA. No, prokaryotic cells lack membrane-bound organelles. Humans are eukaryotes. Prokaryotes use flagella for movement. Topic 2. Cell theory. Matthias Schleiden and Theodor Schwann first proposed the cell theory. The basic unit of life is the cell. The cell theory states all living things are made of cells. Robert Hooke discovered cells by looking at cork. Schleiden and Schwann stated all living organisms are made of cells. Modern cell theory says all cells come from pre-existing cells. Anton van Leeuwenhoek first saw bacteria. Louis Pasteur proved cells come from pre-existing cells. All cells come from other living cells. Cell theory explains that cells carry out all organism functions. Topic 3. Animal vs. plant cells. The cell wall is found in plant cells but not animal cells. The cell wall provides structure and protection for plant cells. The centrosome helps animal cells divide. Plant cells use chloroplasts for photosynthesis. Animal cells do not have a cell wall. The central vacuole stores water in plant cells. Plant cells have a cell wall. Animal cells do not. Mitochondria produce energy in both plant and animal cells. Plant cells have a cell wall. Animal cells have a flexible membrane. The central vacuole holds water, maintaining plant cell pressure. Topic 4. Organelles of the cell. Mitochondria produce energy ATP for the cell. The nucleus controls cell activities and contains DNA. Ribosomes assemble proteins. The smooth endoplasmic reticulum synthesizes lipids. The nucleus stores genetic information. The Golgi apparatus modifies, sorts, and packages proteins. Lysosomes break down waste materials and cellular debris. Mitochondria convert nutrients into energy. Chloroplasts are responsible for photosynthesis in plant cells. The cytoplasm supports and holds organelles in place. Topic 5. Levels of organization. The simplest level is the cell. Tissue is a level with similar cells working together. After tissues, the next level is organs. The highest level of biological organization is the organism. An organ system is a level made of different organs. An organ system coordinates the function of organs. An example of an organ system is the digestive system. A group of similar cells performing a function is a tissue. The correct order is cell, tissue, organ, organ system, organism. The highest level in humans is the organism level.